everybody's lungs are all working and everything. I know that Juliana, our Lieutenant General-elect, is already here because she came in for a slight sec. And JB should be here shortly. His staff is here. He planned on being here 12:15 to 1 o'clock. And he is so excited. If you don't know me, I'm Pam Davidson. I am... Thank you. I am the Knox County Democratic Chair. And I'm also the Knox County Board Chair. And I'm honored to have our mayor here, John Pritzker, because with this new elect, we need to work as a team for Knox County, all of Knox County. And I talked to him last night. He called me and he said, "I'm so excited about coming to Galesburg." He's like, "Pam, thank you for your help. Thank you. I just want to say thank you to everybody and let them know that Galesburg will not be forgotten. Knox County will not be forgotten." I'm not going to speak for him, but I just wanted to let you know that they know where we live. Amen. They know where we are. And that's a good thing. Yes. Because we need to get Knox County, Galesburg, Illinois back on its feet. And we need jobs. We need support. Yes. We need a whole lot of things, and I'm just glad to be a part of it. And I'm glad that you're here. You took your lunch hour, your lunchtime to come. So I'm not saying without further ado, this is just the icebreaker, you guys. So everybody, do me a favor. They have some little cards that your hopes and dreams, all the cards are going to be given to him after. But just talk to your neighbor. If you don't know your neighbor that's sitting next to you, just say hi, introduce yourself, because you might never have this time again. So I'm going to find out where he is.
Okay, for those Facebook viewers kind enough to join us this afternoon, my name is Tom Lowy. I'm a reporter and columnist from the Galesburg Register-Mail. We are inside the Kensington Ballroom, and the Knox County Democrats have served up some lunch and set up some chairs and plan on welcoming J.B. Pritzker, who is on his way.
Okay, first of all, please mute your cell phones.
Yeah.
But first of all, it is truly an honor that we have our Lieutenant Governor-elect and our Governor-elect here in Galesburg today. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello? Oh, there we go. So when I speak, I have to have it down here. Okay, so it is, I already said it's an honor, and they are here. They promised us that they would not forget about Galesburg, and they haven't. They're here for every single last one of you, Republicans, Democrats, Galesburg, Knox County. And I said earlier, we have our mayor here, we have union people here, and I just, without further ado, I would like to introduce you to Julia Stratton. She's been here before, and she's here again, and just to say thank you, but we thank you for running. We thank you for all the things that you've done, and for women and women of color from this whole nation. And I just want to say thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and good afternoon, everyone. Now you want to be quiet, huh? Good afternoon, everyone. We are so excited to be back here in Galesburg, and it is such an awesome feeling to walk into this room with all of this energy. Thank you for coming out and spending a few moments of your time with us today. Pam, I want to thank you. Thank you for your leadership and all the hard work that you've done. Everywhere we've gone where she has been, the energy might have started here, but when she walks in the room, it's up here. You all know that, right? Thank you for fighting so hard for all Illinoisans. And we wanted to just thank you. We wanted to come back to personally look each of you in your eyes and just say thank you and how hard we are going to work on behalf of all Illinoisans. Yeah. You know, we made history in Illinois on November 6th. And it would not have been possible without people all over our state, including right here in Knox County, stepping up to the plate and doing whatever they could, recognizing that we needed to make a change and really help get our state back on track for working families. And so I just wanted to say how much it meant to us to have everyone doing their part. And JB would end every speech that he made during this campaign by asking, "Are you ready for the fight?" That was the speech that he asked. And you all have proven that you were, in fact, ready for the fight. But here's the question now. Are you ready for the work?
Yes.
Because to get the big things done here in this state, it is going to require all of us continuing to work together. This has never been just about me and JB. We always wanted to make sure that we saw Democrats elected up and down the ticket. We wanted to make sure that the voices of people all throughout our state, especially downstate, I won't say especially as in more than the other, but we've had lots of folks from downstate say, you know what? We think we're going to be forgotten. We're not sure you're going to stick around. And we came back, and we came back again, and we came back again to Central Illinois and Southern Illinois, and we are back to say, we are going to stand with you. We look forward to working alongside of you. We look forward to helping move our state forward in partnership with all of you. Now, the work that needs to be done in our state is not going to be easy. I think you all already know that. We have a lot of challenges, right? And having a lot of challenges doesn't mean that things can't get done. It just means that we're going to need everybody to bring their best ideas, their best energy, and to bring the same level of commitment that you did during the campaign. We are going to keep working hard together to make sure that every family in Illinois has access to quality, affordable health care. We're going to do that together. We're going to make sure that we continue this work in the fight to make sure that we stand up for our veterans, to make sure that our veterans get the care and the treatment that they need. And we have said all along that the only way that this state can move forward is if we lift up every community and leave no community left behind. So we will continue to focus on economic inclusion to make sure all communities are lifted up so that we can truly move forward as a state. This is what we can do together. This is what we can do when everybody does their part, and we look forward to working alongside of you. And I'm so, so proud and excited to be here to say that it's because of the work that has been done right here and all throughout the state that I get to say these words. Please welcome your next governor, J.B. Pritzker.
Very, very kind, and you can see why from the very beginning I knew that I needed a great partner to help not only win the election, but also to help change the direction of this state, and I chose the very, very best, and that's Juliana Stratton. I really do feel so lucky to be partnered with her as we take the reins of the state. But I also feel very, very lucky to be partnered with all of you, because that's what this campaign was really all about. It was about people power. It was about getting people out to vote. It was about getting people engaged in the political process. And it was about fighting for working families across the state of Illinois. Now, if you'll forgive me, I know we may have Republicans in the room, and of course we're going to represent Republicans and Democrats and stand up for the entire state of Illinois. We want to work together across the aisle. But we are Democrats. Right. And so, you know that we have a lot of things that we need to do in this state to lift up our working families. You heard us talk about it throughout the campaign. You heard us talk about the fact that we are focused on the kitchen table issues, about raising wages. I happen to think that Illinoisans deserve a wage hike. Yeah. And we told you we were going to do that. We told you we were going to create jobs. And we told you that we're going to expand health care because we believe it's a universal right. Yes. And we told you that we think we've got to make college affordable for every kid that wants to go to college, and we got to bring back vocational training to our high schools. And that's what we intend to do. But I'm going to brag for a minute about Democrats. Let me first start with just telling you, when I was thinking about becoming a candidate, I went to a statewide event for county chairs in Springfield. And there I was approached by the most energetic county chair, probably among all the 102 counties, and that was Pam Davidson. She cornered me, and she said, "Now you're coming to Knox County, right?" And I said, "Well, of course I'm going to come to Knox County." She said, no, you're coming to Knox County. And I said, "Well, yes, of course I'll come to Knox County." She said, "I'm going to put an event on, but you got to promise me you're going to come to Knox County." So I said, "Okay, all right, we're going to get a date on the..." So we did. Yes. And I want you to know, she said, "Now you're not going to forget us here in Galesburg, are you?" And I said, "Well, I won't forget you, I promise." She said, no, really, you're not going to forget us. Okay. So you know, not only was I here that time, but I've been back, and here we are again, and it's what Juliana said, which is we think it's so important that you have leadership in this state that knows where Central and Southern Illinois are, that you have leadership in this state that believes in downstate Illinois. And I'm so proud of, during the campaign, the fact that we really traveled everywhere. And we talked to everybody and listened, maybe more importantly, to everybody across the state. Because the challenges that people face here in Knox County, Galesburg, the challenges that people face in Springfield, sometimes those are different than the challenges that people face in Rockford or in the city of Chicago or in the Collar counties or in Cairo. And so it's important for us to know what's good for the people of Galesburg. And so I'm very proud of that kind of campaign that we ran, listening to everybody, because I think it's going to make us better leaders. But let me tell you about what you managed to do in this election cycle for Democrats, because it's not just that we won. It's that Democrats won up and down the ticket and up and down the state of Illinois. County board races, county-wide races, in places that people didn't think Democrats could win. We won. So I'm going to tell you a few statistics, partly about our own race. First, let me say that Knox County, you delivered. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so proud, when I travel the state since the election, I'm so proud to tell people that we won in Knox County, that we won in Fulton County, that we won in Winnebago, we won in Champaign, we won in Peoria. And let me tell you what else is history making. It's been since 1936 that a Democrat running for governor won in Champaign County. We won. It's been since 1968 that a Democrat won in Peoria County, and we won Peoria County. It's been since 1932 that a Democrat won in DuPage County, and we won DuPage County. And in fact, in the collar counties around Cook County, we won a greater share of the vote than Democrats have won in a century. Yeah. And maybe most of all, and you can tell I'm a bit of a competitive person, so my apologies, but I'm just giving you one more statistic, which is we beat an incumbent governor in the state of Illinois by a larger margin than anybody has beaten an incumbent in the state of Illinois ever. But it's because we recognize that there are Democrats everywhere in this state. And that even when you look at a map of Illinois and election results and they color the counties red and blue, depending on which party won them, well, that's all well and good, but that doesn't tell you what's important. Because remember, there's not an electoral college system in Illinois. It's not like, well, you won a county so you get all the electoral college votes out of a county. There are Democrats everywhere, even in counties that look red on a map that maybe a Republican won. There are Democrats across those counties. And so we recognize that fact. And so actually, if you look at a shaded map of the state of Illinois, if you look at the shades of red and shades of blue, you know what you find? Even in the red counties, now they're pink. Yeah. Because a whole lot of Democrats and independents and even some Republicans came out and voted for Democrats. And we think there's even more progress that we Democrats can make in the state of Illinois. We can win more seats. We can get more people to get out and vote for Democrats. And we've got a presidential election coming up in 2020. Let's make that happen, shall we? Now, Juliana asked you if you're, she told you about how every time I talked during the campaign, I asked you if you were ready for the fight, and you all were. And now we got a lot of work ahead, and you're ready for the work, there's no doubt about that. But I also want to tell you, I think we've got a fight ahead of us. Because it's frankly a fight to make sure that we're changing the direction of the state. We had an election, there's no doubt about it. But now we need to fix things. Right? We got a lot to do in the state, and it isn't going to happen because of just 2 people got elected. Now, of course, we elected a few more people to the legislature, the House and the Senate, and that helps. Yeah. But it truly is you. It's people power. It's your ability to speak to legislators and make your voice heard that is really going to make the difference. And we have plans for the state, and we're going to work hard, but it isn't going to come to fruition unless you all get involved. There are too many challenges that we've got to overcome in this state for you to be silent and just say, well, I voted, our people won, everything's going to change. No, we got too much to do, so I need you. Can I count on you? Yeah. And I promise you we're going to work our hearts out for you every single day. And, without fail, I know that we are going to fight but that fight has got to be a fight that we're in together. And that fight is going to be for the future of the state of Illinois. We've got to stand up. There are some young children in the room I saw as I was walking in, and I have to say it's truly, in the end, that's what we're really fighting for, right? Yeah. And we're going to make progress along the way, but we want to make sure that the future of the state of Illinois is a future where people can get good paying jobs, where our state finances are in good shape, and where everybody in the state has health care. And that is what we're all about here. So we're going to work hard for that. And I just want to say one more time to you, are you ready for the fight? Yeah. Are you ready for the fight? Let's go get them, everybody. Thank you all very, very much. I really appreciate everything. I'm going to stay. I want to make sure I shake hands with everybody. Thank you all very much.
Yep, I have it. What's your name? Hi, Jordan. I'd shake your hand, but so you lead me to where I need to be.
Yeah, I think we just hang out right here. I'll bring
Okay, that sounds fine. Okay, folks, as you can see, we are at J.B. Pritzker's kind of thank you.
Which way? This way?
We're live, just to let you know. We are live.
You're live, okay.
Yeah,
well,
we're on Facebook Live.
Facebook Live, I got it.
How many times now in Galesburg?
I think at least during the campaign, we were here a couple, 3 times during the campaign,
right.
And now we're back, and we're going to keep coming back.
You hit hard on health care. How does that get paid for?
Okay, so remember what we proposed during the campaign, which is a public option.
Right.
And the idea is this doesn't cost the taxpayers anything. The first thing we can do is allow people to buy into the state's health insurance plan, which is a much lower cost plan than a private health insurance plan.
Right.
So that's the first thing. People can get a break on what they're paying for health insurance.
Right.
Second is that people who don't have health insurance and aren't able to afford it today because it's thousands of dollars more than the cost of public option will be able to buy in to the state's health insurance system.
Do you see are you taking an evolutionary path? Are you looking towards universalized health care? Are you looking towards Medicaid, Medicare for all?
We believe strongly that everybody should have health care, and so we're going to do everything that we can to expand availability and access to affordable health care in the state of Illinois. But we also need the federal government to step up to the plate in order for us to have Medicare for all. That's something that might happen on the federal level. And so with Donald Trump in office and with Republicans in control of the Senate, that's going to be difficult to get done. But by 2020, I think we're going to make a change in both of those sets of offices.
A lot of times corporations, when they hear this kind of talk about Medicare for all and expanding healthcare coverage, a lot of times maybe that's not such an attractive, they automatically think about taxes. And so then how do you generate jobs in the face of some of that?
Well, you know that the larger the pool of insured, the lower the cost per insured covered person. So that's the basic principle behind universal health care that makes it affordable. And truthfully, I believe that it's a right, not a privilege. And so this is just something we're going to have to step up to the plate to do. I'm a businessman, so I understand this probably as much as anybody, and I really believe that this is good for business in the end. You've got healthier people working for you, you've got lower cost of healthcare overall, the insurance companies aren't getting the enormous profits in a universalized system, And so this is good for everybody.
There are largely two election authorities in Knox County. In Galesburg, voters largely voted for you. Voters outside the county largely voted for Governor Rauner. How do you win over those Rauner supporters?
Well, as you can imagine, as you know, the election results, we won by almost 16% across the state, and 39% of voters voted for Governor Rauner. We're going to work for them too. We're the governor and lieutenant governor for everybody in the state, and we're going to continue to try to win Republican and independent support over time. But the most important thing is we'll run a good government that's going to be good for them, and I think that's a reason for them to support us.
Largely, though, people are pretty cynical about how government operates, no matter who's in office. So how do you make it more palatable, I guess?
Well, if we run the government well, if we pass balanced budgets every year, if we address the big challenges in the state, I think people will understand not only are we being responsible, but we're lifting up working families across Illinois. And that has been our promise from day one, and that is what most people, whether you're Republicans, Democrats, or Independents, want.
And the other thing that we're doing is we are right now in transition, and one of the things that JB and I have both been committed to is making sure that we include diverse perspectives, including people from Central and Southern Illinois. So when we look at our transition co-chairs, including Governor Edgar and others who are working on our budget and all of the other committees, we are making sure that we have the perspectives of not just Democrats, but also Republicans, people from the Chicago area, Collier counties, and downstate Illinois. We want diverse perspectives because we want to represent the whole state.
How has Governor Edgar helped you already?
Oh, he's been terrific. In fact, I talked to him earlier today. He's an amazing advisor, somebody who's going to become governor. Talking to someone who who's had the experience that he's had is hugely beneficial personally for me. And then in transition, he's been very helpful in making sure that we're getting Republicans engaged at all levels of transition. And he believes, as I think most people in the state believe, that we can no longer have this hyper-partisanship in Illinois. What we really need to do is problem solve, and that's what our administration is going to be all about.
Good. Thank you both.
Thank you. Great to see you.
Yep.
Thanks so much.
And that has been Governor J.B. Pritzker.
Oh, yeah.
I know there's also a challenge with layoffs.
Yes. Friday they're going to put out an announcement for more layoffs and then announce another for others. And our students are losing faith in and leaving. So is there anything I can take back to them to give our people hope?
Well, the first thing you should tell them is that I'm committed to what you want. We're going to make sure that we're funding our schools properly and that we recognize the value of having our universities regionally covered schools within the area and whether it's an important economic engine of the area. So, during the campaign, helping small business.
All right, folks, thanks for joining us today. This has been J.B. Pritzker, live from the Kensington Ballroom. He's on a listening, speaking thank you tour around Somerville, Illinois, and made a special stop in Galesburg this afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Hope you have a great afternoon.